Lander.
Okay, and it's time then. Joining us in the studio, Cathy Holman, Prairie Wife in Heels. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me back. Good morning.
Before we get to our topic for today, we do want to remind all of you of a programming note. We are going to be changing this time. We've been meeting on Fridays. This is going to change to Mondays.
All right.
Having to do with family schedules. And
Yes,
all that
my
sort of
kids
thing.
do not have school on Friday, and so I would like to be fun mom, so we're changing it to Monday at 9:15.
Very good. And that will start actually coming up Monday. So
Yeah.
we got kind of a double dose here
Yeah.
coming up. But
Which is only a good thing.
Yeah. So today we are talking about something that pretty much affects all of us. We're talking about how do you save money and stay out of debt. And Cathy kind of says she doesn't save money. Am I
Some
right on
people
that?
are better at this than others.
Cathy.
As my friend Andrea said, my motto may perhaps be, "Girl, get it, enjoy your life."
Kathy,
Well, there you go.
I know.
what's the magic word?
The magic word is no.
Right.
Which my husband, thankfully, is much, much better at saving money than I am. When we got married, of course, and joined our bank accounts and everything like that, the first thing he did was cut up all my credit card.
Very wise man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's one question. Or if you're a pooler or a splitter, with your checking accounts, we're a pooler. Everything goes into one pool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Considering I live off of him, yes, we are one.
Well, let's start with debt. You came up with some statistics of average debt going by age group, and I found this to be quite surprising. And
I
little bit
did
frightening.
too. Yeah, I did too. So according to time.com, their money section, overall, broken down by age group, people under the age of 35, their average debt was $67,000. And then you get in that $130,000 range with ages 35 to 54. And then it starts going down again. 55 to 64, it's 108,000. 65 to 74, 66,000. And this kind of surprised me for the 75 years old and up crowd. Their average amount of debt is $34,000.
Wow.
And that includes mortgages and cars.
Yes,
and-
It does include mortgage.
Yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
does. Yes,
All
it
right.
does. Which like I said, I am not a money person. Everything we have is due to my husband. Thank you, sweetheart. I love being a trophy wife. I was asking Susan because I honestly just have never thought about this, and I was saying, okay, so if you're 75 and up and you pass away, your family just inherits that debt and has to cover it. And she said,
Well, the estate would, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they would have to sell the house and then take the debt out of the estate. So.
Yeah.
But I was surprised, happily so, that we are quite a bit under for our age group as far as total debt.
Oh, shut up.
We've been in the same house for
Roger,
26 years.
if
Yeah.
it helps you feel any better, I feel like it was pretty close for us because we do have a mortgage that
Yeah.
we pay and what we owe on our house, but that is our only debt that we have. So there's something to be said for that. So what I thought was interesting too is that throughout this article, it kept on saying the trend follows that when people have children, those kids' needs, we see a rise in debt because people have bigger homes. They need more space. You have to have a bigger car to drive the kids around as opposed to later on in life where you can start downsizing.
And wait till you buy those 5 kids' cars.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We already told them they better start working.
Well, let's start with credit card debt because that's where a lot of people fall into that big hole. And I was doing a little searching on some of the calculators, and that if paying the minimum amount is where most people end up getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Because if you have a $3,000 debt, okay, 17% on your credit card, and you're paying a minimum amount of $25, which basically is just saying, okay, I'm going
You're
to
treading water.
scoot this to next month. It'll take you 126 months to pay it off, and you will pay $2,241 in interest.
And that's assuming you don't
And
keep on
14
adding stuff
cents,
to it.
right.
I mean,
Right.
can you
So-
stay away from Amazon that?
Yeah. And I myself, I will tell you, I never pay the minimum. I always pay more. Even if I can't pay it off, I will always pay more. And the same thing with my car payment, and I haven't had a car payment in ages because we drive old cars.
Yeah.
We drive them until they fall
So do
apart.
we.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amen.
So,
Yeah.
the car payment and also the mortgage. And if you pay extra on those, even if you just round it up by $20 or something like that, you'd be amazed at the amount of interest that you save.
Oh, one extra payment a year
Yes.
of your mortgage that goes straight to the principal.
Yeah. Well, and so I went to, of course, the the getting rid of debt guru, Dave Ramsey. I went to
Mm-hmm.
daveramsey.com and found some of his tips, because we don't want to just talk about how terrible debt is. I can hear people like listening to this starting to break out and sweat, but we want to offer some solutions since we've
course.
got a captive audience here. So he said, to list your debts from smallest to largest, regardless of interest. So he said, ignore the interest. He said, pay the minimum on all the debts except the smallest. Squeeze everything you can out of your budget and attack the smallest debt with all the extra money you can find.
Right.
And then once that smallest debt, then you go to the next one and apply that there. So I thought that was interesting that he said you should pay just the minimum so that you can get rid of a larger quantity in the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you
That-
know, some people ascribe to that and some people don't. The snowball method of
Yeah.
paying the
Yeah.
you know, the lowest first, and
Yeah.
you know, some say that does work and some say it doesn't. I guess it depends on who you are.
I suppose the other approach might be go for the highest interest debt first.
See, and he
Right.
says to ignore. Dave Ramsey says ignore that interest and just worry about and maybe some of that has to do with the feel good aspect of getting rid of some of the debt. Don't you agree that once you are saving and you're really focused on that and you have a plan and you're doing well, it's easier to keep that momentum going?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe there's something to be said for that victory of, hey, I got rid of this. I can do this and keep on attacking and
Well,
go.
and if you
Well,
get rid of-
okay, he has a radio show. So do we. All right? Anyway.
But if you do, you know, you pay off one, say you're paying $50 a month on something and you pay that off. The trick is to take that $50 and apply it to the next debt.
Exactly. That's
not
what,
to,
yeah.
to say, "Ooh, I get to go out for
Woohoo!
lunch."
Yeah, and that's what he says.
whatever.
Then you attack the next one and the next one. I am totally guilty, which this is not going to shock, I think, anyone that knows me, is if something's on sale, I'm like, woohoo! It's like it's for
But
free.
they
Yeah.
say, you know, if you have something that's $1,000, right, and it's $250 off, and
Yep.
so you buy it for $750, you
Yep.
haven't really saved
I know.
$250.
you
Yes,
still
Cathy,
spent
you've spent
$750. But dang,
So-
are those shoes adorable? No, I'm just kidding. I would never spend that much money.
So some
on
of our,
shoes.
our listeners, you know, weighed in on this, and Melanie said this is how she saves some money. We drive on most vacations and stay with family or friends. So, you know, rather than flying, they drive. Eating out is a downfall, and that's where you know, I'll save money, and then I'm like, oh, let's go out to dinner.
Best
Yeah,
trick for that is live half an hour outside of town.
Yeah.
We eat out
Yeah.
once a month. And that's it. And part of that is because with 5 kids, McDonald's costs us $60, you know. but really with us, that's just the way we live. We do not eat out. We don't go through the drive-through. We pack like we're going to be hitting the road. For vacation this weekend, we're going to be packing lunch in the car to eat. We'll get stuff at the grocery store to eat for breakfast. That's how, you know, we save money, and also buying in bulk, and we have our own pigs and things like that.
Well, and before we run out of time, just a few other quick little savings
Yeah.
things. Prep for grocery shopping. That's a big one for me.
I do that.
I mean,
yeah.
figure out what your meals are going to be,
Yeah.
what you need, go
And-
buy that stuff, and don't buy everything else.
And make a set time. Like I only go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks.
And don't go hungry.
Yeah, yeah, and don't let
Please
your
don't go.
husband go. Can I say that? Is
Oh,
that
no,
fair
my
to
husband
say?
does
Why?
better than I
Oh,
do.
What do we do?
Because my husband throws in 800 things that aren't on the list, and all of them are processed and unhealthy. And he'll be like, "Ooh, look at this! Brats made in Timbuktu. We need those.
Mhm.
Who cares if they're $8 a piece?" Another thing I thought was great on this list of
Actually, I save money when I shop because I buy a lot of store brands.
oh,
that
I
she
always
doesn't
do
buy.
that too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
always
and
do
because
that.
you listen to me when I burst into the newsroom and
And
say,
say,
"Hey, T-Bone's
Hey,
newsroom."
T-Bone!
I'm not a couponer. My mom is still a diehard. I am not at all.
Oh, yeah.
But
You
I do
need to
meal
do
plan.
that, girl.
I do meal plan if that helps at all. So one last tip for saving money is make your own gifts.
I like that.
I like
one.
that too. Yeah. And speaking of, I just did choke cherry jelly and choke cherry syrup. I'll be bringing in for everyone next week.
Oh,
And I'm going to add one more
okay.
too.
Mhm.
Have an emergency fund.
Yeah.
So if something
Yeah.
happens, if there's
Yes.
a medical emergency, if
Tires
your
on the car.
tires on the car, your refrigerator dies,
Mhm,
something, have a fund that you can, so you don't put that on your credit,
Credit card.
Okay, and one more for Cathy. Restrict your online shopping, girl.
Hiss.
So-
Boo. Boo. Hiss.
Very good. Thank you so much, Cathy Holman, Prairie Wife in Heels. Remember, we'll be here Monday at 9:15. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming in, hon. Have a great weekend.